Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Crownsmen Show. I'm your host, Jared Downey. Today we have Bryan Holby on. He is the Senior Global Product Manager for Columbus McKinnon, and they are doing a product launch. By the time you see this episode, it will be launched into the market, but for many of you, it'll be the first time seeing it. So, Bryan, welcome to the show. Great to have you on.
Jared, thanks. I'm really excited to talk to you and show our new product sitting right next to me, and we're really excited about this launch.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to jump right into it because it is literally right beside you. Yeah, okay, let's just jump into it right away. What is the product that's new to the market here?
Well, it's really a new product that it's been years in the making. We spend a lot of time talking to customers, trying to understand their pain points, and this product right here is a battery-powered chain hoist. We have products today. We have manual products, we have electric chain hoist products. Both have good applications, and this really fits right in between the two. Provides these users with really a more efficient, better way to doing some of the lifting practices that that we have out there.
When you say customer pain points and that, where does it fit into? Where was the demand when the R&D was being done to get this product to market?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about our typical lifting applications, we have manual chain hoists. They're great portable products. You can carry them around. They're lightweight, easy to use in a lot of different applications. But they do take a lot of effort. It is a manual strain. There's efficiencies. They're not really quick for the operator. So they have a little few downsides. And then you look at electric chain hoists. They're very efficient. They're very safe. A lot of times you get operators away from the load travel, but now you need power. So in applications, maybe new construction, you might not have power yet, or even some maintenance applications where maybe they're doing power down maintenance, or they're out in an area where they don't have power readily available. Now it's just difficult to get that power to the electric chain hoist to use it. So this really fits right in between the two. We have the portability. It's very easy to use. It's lightweight. It's under 50 pounds with this 20-foot of chain on it. So one person can carry it around.
Wow.
But on the flip side, you don't have to worry about having a power source, right? It's battery powered. You slide in a battery, you're ready to go.
So what do? You buy does it come with like an electric drill? It comes with multiple batteries?
One of the things we did with this product early on, we actually teamed up with Milwaukee Tool on this product development. As Columbus McKinnon, we've been in the business for 150 years in the material handling business. So we have a lot of experience with, lifting and lifting technologies, and decided to team up with Milwaukee Tool, who's a leader in, lithium battery technologies. Yeah. They have great experiences in controlling motors. So this really was a joint development project between us and Milwaukee Tool. And as part of that, this uses the standard M18 battery pack that Milwaukee Tool uses in a lot of their other tools. There's over 250 tools or so that they have in their M18 platform. And this is just one more piece that will fit into that.
The M18 is a great lineup, by the way, to plug Milwaukee there. But okay, so this is not. I was actually under the assumption. I get some notes on the show, but a lot of times I'm missing certain things. I was under the assumption this was sort of proprietary to yours, but it's actually, if you've got the M18 lineup, you can use this.
Exactly. And it was important to us. Like I said, we know our products, we know how to lift things, and being able to team up with a partner like Milwaukee Tool, who's got a great reputation, and like you said, there's a lot of these users out there that will already have these batteries available to them, and this is just one more tool really fit into their use.
It's funny you say that, when I first saw the tool, I was thinking, okay, where would this application be? Because a lot of places I've worked in, they have power, they already have it rigged up. But then you said about the construction site, and I thought, time you lift something on a construction site, there's this whole thing about getting power. So is that'll probably be a big market for you, right? These construction sites with, like you said, they don't have power to them yet. They just have infrastructure there, so you can rig out, but you can't hook up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about a lot of the we'll say mechanical trades, whether it's lifting up plumbing pipes or HVAC, or maybe even large electrical boxes up to the ceiling for mounting, today they're using a lot of manual hoists. And with a manual hoist, again, it's just a very manual effort. You're doing it's not maybe the most efficient. And the other piece of it is a lot of times with those manual type hoists, the operator isn't maybe in the most ideal place whenever they're positioning it. If you think about being up in the rafters or in the ceiling, really you want to be right next to where you're mounting the product. This battery hoist, one of the things that it comes standard with a wireless remote. So now the operator can be in a position where they're able to really be right at with the load, be able to position real finely, and takes the operator also out of that load path, keeps them safe away from the load. So, but I mean, even beyond construction, there's these applications in just general maintenance, utilities. If you think about pulling product up utility poles, placing products there, whether it's maintenance areas where maybe they have to come in and pull motor out or something like that to run some maintenance on it. There's a lot of applications where either a manual hoist or they're bringing in electric hoist. They got facilities where maybe electric hoist is just hanging in the ceiling, waiting for that next maintenance.
Yeah.
And this really just provides another great option to fill that need.
Can I see that controller again? And just kind of go over
Absolutely.
what's on it, 'cause I saw, yeah, so I see the two up and down buttons, obviously, but then there's another button on the top. What's that?
Yep.
Like,
So it's very easy, as far as starting up this, right? You got a quick power button. You can press that. It syncs up, within the first 5 seconds. It'll beep, notify you it's ready. A green light comes on, and you're ready to go. This other red button here is just a stop button. So, anytime you want to, do a quick stop on it, just smash shut down kind of as emergency stop button. And then you do have the up and down buttons. One of the real nice things about these buttons is they are truly variable speed. So kind of like the gas pedal in your car, the further you press it down, the faster you're going to go. This has the same functionality on it. So it's really nice. You can really creep your load up. So again, if you're trying to position something
yep.
and put it into a real direct spot, then, you can just inch it up there, let go, stays there, and you're ready to go. The other thing I want to point out too, you can't really see them on this right now, but there's actually 4 LEDs on here. Kind of gives the operator a few different indications. One of the things with battery tools, obviously, is that kind of battery runtime concerns and fears. Well, this remote will actually illuminate. There's a little LED there that once you get down to about 25% left on the battery, a little light will come up, just kind of say, hey, when you're done with your current lift, go ahead, swap out the battery, and you're ready to go. Couple other things. There's overload protection on this. There's an electronic overload. So if you are overloading a hoist, a light will come on, beep, not allow you to, overload the hoist. It'll stop operation, allow you to set things down. But again, it's just preventing an overload situation. It also has a light on here, which is, I think, really nice. A lot of these applications, one thing with hoists is that you should always be doing your routine inspections on them. Depending on usage, whether that's monthly, quarterly, yearly. The remote actually has a light on here that'll illuminate saying, hey, your inspection is coming up to being due. So now instead of having to monitor that on a piece of paper or some other system, right, the hoist will tell you directly on that. And how that works for those that are comfortable or familiar with the Milwaukee tool line, this actually links up to their one key system. So this is integrated with the one key. You set up all your inspections. You can keep your inspection notes and everything all within that one key app with some of your other Milwaukee tools.
I have to ask, how long did this product take from conception to now?
It's been years. I would say from our original conception and starting to talk about this, it's probably been 5 years. We had a lot of pre-development. We spend a lot of time talking to customers, understanding, their pain points, where we can make improvements, how we can help them out. We're all about trying to make their jobs more efficient and making sure the operators are safe. So we spent a lot of time up front understanding that. And then it's been, quite a long time, probably 3 years of development between the two teams. This was truly a joint development between Columbus McKinnon and Milwaukee Tools. So our engineering teams are working together. monthly or weekly, sometimes daily meetings, going through other designs, integrating our two designs together. So it's been truly a really fun project to work on.
What is was the over those 5 years, was there a couple like bottlenecks that was the biggest challenge in designing something like this?
I mean, there's always challenges that come up. One of the challenges is always with the communication. We have remote controls, we have different safety aspects of that, and getting, the Milwaukee tool team and the Columbus McKinnon team, we have, our own programmers and getting them aligned on,
Right.
how to set this all up. And then obviously there's always some, mechanical things to come up. This was a ground up design. So everything that is part of this hoist is something new for both companies. So it's been really a lot of fun development time, and I think we ended up with a real good product.
Well, it's so interesting because the thing with battery is, the old thing is it can go as fast, you can get as much power to it as, so you obviously now have to then, part of the mastery of battery is controlling the speed and how much it drains and all that sort of thing. So what is sort of the lift rates on it? The like the speeds.
So right now it's got a top speed of about 8 feet per minute, which is really
Okay.
good for most applications out there. Comparing it to a manual chain hoist, it's a lot faster. It's funny. We were just doing some other filming for some other videos, and I was here at the training center, just using a manual chain hoist and doing that. And I just lifted a load. It was 250 pounds, so fairly light load with the manual chain hoist, and I'm sitting there pulling on a chain for almost 3 minutes, trying to get up there. So this is going to be a breath of fresh air for some of those operators that are having to do that at a daily rate.
Oh, I mean, you're speaking my language on the first jobs. I used to go up to, well, the part of my job back in the day was tearing down like old mines. So,
Okay. Yep.
yeah, so no power, remote areas, and you'd go and there'd be these different levels, right? So you'd need to pull out some sort of mechanism or an electrical box or whatever. So sometimes you'd have to chain it way up, and you'd have these long chains, and you would be, and of course, the young guy always has to sit there, and you sit there sometimes for like a long, long time, just
Yep.
on
And
on, and
then it
multiple.
becomes more and more difficult the heavier weight.
Right?
Like I said, I was just doing 250 pounds, so it wasn't too much exertion. But if that was 2,000 pounds, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, what does it lift? What is the weight?
So this is it's a 1 ton capacity. It's metric graded, so it's actually 2,200 pounds.
Wow. Okay, that's actually that's pretty big.
Yeah, and we selected that 1 ton really to try to meet the mass majority of applications.
Right?
We think of this as a tool, right? It's a tool that, today I could be lifting an electrical box, next day I could be lifting a pipe, the next day, it could be a number of things. So really don't want to have to go and say, oh, which tool do I need today? It's no, go grab the tool and let's get to work.
It's so interesting. I just actually we didn't do it at the beginning, and I usually like to. I mean, a lot of people are going to, of course, know Columbus McKinnon, but can you just give us like a bird's eye view of? I was on your website, and again, a lot of people will know, but just the markets you're in, just the little bit of an overview of the company.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're at 150 years of material lifting business. So we've been around for a long time. Really started with chain hoists and manual chain hoists. Throughout the years, we have a great following across a lot of industries. Entertainment's a big industry for us as well. You be surprised to see how many hoists are used in entertainment. So next time you go to a concert out there, just look up in the ceiling, any arena, any theater out there,
Yep.
probably see a lot of our hoists out. But more recently, we're really focused on automation and really going after a broader piece of the industry, not just with chain hoists. We have linear actuators. We've more recently acquired Dorner and Garvey, which are in conveyors. So we're big into some of the food industry markets with conveyors, as well as automation systems. So we also develop some of our own automation systems and drives for elevators and other systems.
What is on like construction sites and that? This is kind of I don't know if this is even an important question, but it's dust, the weather conditions, all that sort of stuff we're going to see because not everything's covered. How is this? How does this work? Is it for those applications or is it more for a covered area?
No, so that was one of the big things that we were looking at. Again, was we go out and look at applications. That's the first thing you see, especially on the construction sites. They're dirty, dusty.
Yeah.
Chances of these things being left out in the rain and things. So, as part of our design, so this is actually an IP55 rated for the electronics. So all the electronics inside of the hoist, including the battery compartment that's on the back of the hoist here, is IP55 rated. So for your normal rain and getting wet, won't have any issues with that. Um, so yeah, it meets all those applications. There is, so people are aware, right? There is obviously some vents here on the hoist around the motor just to let some cooling out, things like that. So yeah, sure, water can get into the casing here, but again, all the electronics inside are IP55 rated.
Have you got a chance to sort of get this out into let people in use case? Have you put it in these environments and just sort of got feedback on what users are already sort of saying about it?
Yeah, I mean that's part of our development process. It's part of Milwaukee Tools development process. I'd say throughout this project, we have well over 100 people that we've talked to. We've built tons of prototypes throughout the years to get these out the hands because that's really where we understand if A, we're meeting the expectations, and B, and, if they're going to last and survive. What's one of the things that we're known for, and we want to make sure that we continue is to make sure that these are durable. They're going to last, a long time and, keep working for you.
Where are you going to put these out? Like, how are you people going to actually buy them? Is it going to be like through distributors, obviously, but people just kind of walk in one day and see them sitting beside the other hoist? Is that sort of the goal? Like, just even a consumer that, doing some rentals on their home, that type of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you brought up homeowners, the farmers. There's a lot of different applications, small machine shops, and little garages, auto mechanics. There's tons of applications. So it's going to go through our normal distribution channel, and that includes some of the catalog house customers that you find online, and some others. So we really expect a lot of this to go through some of our online channel, where you can find it, order it, and get it shipped to your house.
Before I let you go, Brian, I wanted to touch on a couple things. You mentioned, maintenance. So, is what does maintenance look if that you said there's an actual LED light on it that says if it's time for maintenance, right?
It's actually time for inspection. So there are inspection periods that you're supposed to kind of make sure just proper operation, but also part of that is general maintenance, preventive maintenance, making sure that it's still operating as well as it can. So we've done a few things there to help improve that. One of the big things is our brake system on this. So it is a unique patent pending design that we've come up with for this hoist. And as part of that, we've added some inspection windows. So there's one up on top, one on bottom, one screw. You can go in there, you can look at it, clear out any debris or anything like that during your inspections. Make sure that things running as well as it should be. Um, so yeah, it's pretty easy maintained hoist. There's not a lot of moving parts on it, and not a lot of preventive maintenance that you need to do to keep it running.
The other thing that came to my mind, I think we can, wrap up on this, but I think it's important to touch on is, these are construction sites or on a farm, or if you're tearing down a mine somewhere, whatever you're doing with this, and people will be doing all kinds of stuff with it. You walk on the site and everybody's expecting one thing, and I walk on with this, over my shoulder. There's going to be, safety. The safety guy is going to come over. Can we cover that? Is it similar in design to your standard hoist? Are there any differences? Just sort of the setup of the safety and design, just so people understand if they see this on site, so they know what they're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, like I said, we've been in business for 150 years. Safety is core to us. We want to make sure that everybody's safe doing their job, and everything we can do to ensure that we're going to do. Um, so, from a safety standpoint, we have overload protection on it. This actually has two forms of overload protection on it. So it's got an electric sensor that I mentioned before that'll tell you and stop operation, but it's also got a mechanical
Oh, okay.
system on that as well. So, nobody can sit there and try to lift more than they should. and prevent any damage or anything to the hoist, or just be doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. So that's critical to us. The other part of it is the remote. Again, I mentioned about pulling the operator away, letting them stand in an area where they're safe and they're comfortable and away from the load from that standpoint. The other thing that we've integrated to this, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but this hoist is kind of hanging upside down almost from what you would traditionally see.
Right.
Your mounting hook is down here, which is usually up in your anchor point. Reason why we did that is if you think about moving this from place to place in a construction environment or maintenance environment or anything like that, instead of having to lift the whole hoist up over your head, getting attached to that mounting point, now what you can do is just take the chain, right? A real light hook, go up and hook that up to your anchor point, and then use the hoist itself to lift itself plus the load. The other nice thing about that is most of the time when you're running a hoist, you're by the load, whether you're clicking onto the load or installing it up in the air. So you're always going to be close to the battery. So if you do get in that position where I mentioned, hey, your low battery light comes on, you're likely going to be right next to the hoist whenever you're done with your lift. Put in a
Right.
new battery, you're ready to go.
No.
Um,
So I go oh, I had one last question. In different like different temperatures, has it been tested in that? I guess just a general, I mean, I know it's so ranging depending on how much weight you're lifting and all that sort of thing. But if you're in, I'm up here in Canada. If you get into one of these crazy minus 30 days, it's just gonna perform like a any basically battery operated tool would, right? It'd be very similar.
cor- Correct, correct. The temperatures are, especially on the cold side, would be battery limited. So as long as your battery's warm, the hoist itself should operate satisfactory. And then obviously at very high elevated temperatures, um, we've done our what we call our Arizona test.
Oh yeah.
Real high elevated temperatures. Running it, making sure we have stabilized temperatures. The hoist itself is going to protect itself. So even if you do get in a situation where you're running it really hot in a really hot environment, it's going to protect itself. There's another light actually on the remote that I forgot to mention that'll come on and just tell you, hey, look, I'm
Okay.
a little hot. Let me cool down for a little bit and I'll be ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of these little things that it's an important note because like, well, let's say if I'm buying this for a crew and you've got a, 18-year-old, a week into the job and they're lifting and it is hot out and they just push the thing. But it's actually, of course you guys thought of that. So it's
Yep,
there.
yep.
Um, okay, so this will be rolled out by the time it's already, I guess that we're filming this before obviously release. So it's sort of like a July. A lot of people will be watching this. So it's just it's available now on the market. Just sort of expectations for people that if they're wanting to, we'll have a link. They're going to go onto your website. What should be
Yep.
expectations for getting the product?
Yeah, so we're ramping up our kind of pre-production volumes now. So come mid late summer, we'll have product available to start shipping. Before that, we're also working on our website, doing some other informational videos, things like that, and that will all be readily available by the time this gets out to market. So.
Perfect. Bryan, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's the first time to have Columbus McKinnon on. It's very exciting. I hope we get to do more. And your first time, of course, on the show as well. So thank you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you. It's a great product. It's always fun to actually tell an audience about a product they'd never heard of before in the market. So I appreciate the time and hope we do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and we're real excited about this launch. And yeah, we'll be talking again soon, hopefully.
And thank you everybody for watching. Of course, we'll have a link to the product. Very cool. Would have saved me some arm pain 15 years ago when I was hoisting stuff. But yeah, you can't get everything. So thank you everybody. Check out the product, and we will see you on the next episode of the Crownsman Show.